Hello, welcome back to EPHRAIM's FE8. Today we're going to be doing the Dusel map, turning traitor. I'm just going to do some preps here while I speak. So in terms of the weapon changes that I've made, I changed both the iron bow and the killer bow hits to 0, because there are some enemies on the next map who have them. Because of the fact that most of my actually combat units are now flyers, it's probably a good idea to not have them fight people that they're weak to, especially if the weapon has both 255 hit and 100 crit. It can end quite badly quite quickly. Vanessa is now a Falcon Knight, or Kinchi Knight even. We're going to be buying her some javelins, and we're just going to store all of the useless items on units that are actually going to field, because otherwise I am the kind of person who will totally forget about that. That's everyone, so let's just go to eDay and buy some javelins, like this. Javelin 1, Javelin 2. Okay, that should be everything, although we're going to give you a steel bow. So steel bows I have returned to 255 hit and 100 crit, because none of the enemies on this upcoming map have any. That looks like it should be all of the preps. So let's go and get Dusel. Cool. So in terms of the units we're going to deploy, we don't need any of this lot. The only unpromoted people we might need are potentially Garcia, because he should do flunky duty for us, and also Tana, because we need her to recruit Cormag. Technically there are 2 people on this map who can recruit Cormag, the other one of course being Dusel, who's all the way over here. However, it turns out that if you don't actually talk to Dusel, but you complete the map and he survives, he will join you. This means that his recruitment does not define the turn floor of this map. That instead, in the full recruitment context, comes down to recruiting Cormag. If we did have to recruit Dusel by talking to him, it would take 3 turns for someone to get into position to drop EPHRAIM, so that on turn 4 EPHRAIM could speak to Dusel, but that's not the case. By comparison, it takes 2 turns to drop someone where Cormag can be recruited at the start of turn 3, which means that this should be a 3-turn clear. In a non-recruitment context, it wouldn't make any difference whether or not we talked. We wouldn't talk to him at all, because Gilliam would be able to reach the boss and kill in 2 turns by going around this direction. Quite easily actually, because on turn 1, he will be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles, then it's only 1, 2, 3 to hit the boss. So these are all of our important positions. Ideally, I would like for these enemies here to hurt Garcia specifically, which is why he's both got the Shining Bow, because I also want to get them out of the way, and same with Iron Swords. Still, I am not actually sure if they're going to do what I want. Or at least whenever I've sent Kyle directly to this tile here to grab the Torch Staff on the first turn, that's what's happened. This is something new I'm trying, because I think that it might be possible to, within the course of the number of turns that I have, do all of getting the secret book, which we don't need, getting the Torch Village, and getting the Hero Crest Village. Additionally, we'll get a Knight's Crest for saving all 3 of these enemies, because they're no risk of dying. Not least because I set all of these axes hit to 0. Alright, so let's go. So Garcia just moves here with the Shining Bow equipped. This has him in range of 1, 2, 3 enemies, who hopefully actually do attack him. The reason why I have to say that is because they have historically not. if I put Kyle here on this position, all three of them seem to go for him. I'm not entirely sure why, because not all of them can even do damage to him. He has 14 defense, so this enemy here does absolutely no damage to him at all. And yet, every single time, instead of going for Garcia, we can clearly do damage to with his 6 damage per hit. He's always gone for him. Still though, so long as someone can reach Garcia, it's all fine. We need to make sure that Natasha doesn't hit because we don't want that damage to go to Garcia. Gilliam flies straight over here, and he kills that Cav. The Cav wasn't really a danger per se, because a Javelin hit, even with the crit moment, only 15 attack compared to Gilliam's 17 defense. Gilliam was not in any danger of taking damage. And additionally, these two enemies, and the enemy I just killed, don't seem to move on turn 1 enemy phase, or for quite a while actually. So, Dusel will go over at the end. Cormag I'll go over after we recruit him. Tatana moves directly next to Vanessa, so that she can rescue and move her full move. And EPHRAIM just moves closer as well, so there's nothing else for him to be doing. So, Pent is here again. He was here back in Chapter 2, giving us the red gem instead of Selena. And now, just like what happened in the first time that you meet Selena as a potential boss, she retreats. Great, so although it's not needed, Garcia gets a level up. This is fine, really, because EPHRAIM wasn't in range and no one else was really going to be gaining sizable experience anyway. Additionally, if we did have to promote someone into becoming a second ranger, I feel like he would be the second most useful person to do so after Seth, just because of Colossus being such a helpful skill. Goodbye, Archer. Iron Bows I probably could actually just leave at full might, because everyone's got such high defense, they don't really care. Okay. Okay, yes, it does work. Goodbye. Secret book. Very nice. EPHRAIM can just stand here as well. As can Garcia. Sure, let's get you a steel bow out of the convoy, because I don't know who they're going to go and attack. Let's mend up Garcia. And then Seth will just stand here. We'll trade EPHRAIM over to his steel bow, and let Iron Blade down this guy here. Vanessa moves her full move, drops Tana, and here we go. Garcia both gets hurt and also gets a level. Maybe the Garcia Ranger is real. Okay, I guess Garcia Ranger will actually be happening now. This was just something that I thought that might work. And there we go. There goes the Killing Edge enemy there. I'll gladly take that, though there's not really a need. Okay. Tana talks to Cormag, who we've now recruited. So, Cormag... It's very nice of him to join with his promotion item still, but these stats are not fantastic. I used him in my vanilla Oops All Archers run, and okay, the skill's been doctored because he's going to turn into a Wyvern Knight, but he was always just very slow and just weaker than Vanessa in every way, despite ostensibly having a better strength growth. So he was quite disappointing. Still though, we are going to be training him just because it will only take him 1 level to hit level 10, and then we'll have yet another flyer, although I'm not entirely sure if we need one. So for that purpose, we gave Gilliam a steel bow, which we can now use to completely destroy the enemy. We visit the village, get the hero crest, and now, once again, we mend. So we only have 3 uses of this mend staff. Oh, and now even Garcia can just go and visit this village. Isn't it amazing how much stuff you can do in the course of just 3 turns? So the last thing left to do, really, is to kill the boss, which, once again, due to the power of Luna, we will be able to do in 1 hit. So Gilliam gains another level 1. And we get a longbow, which is nice to have. But yes, interesting. Even though we didn't actually talk to him, he joins. We get the Knight's Crest. And then, of course, just save over here. Now, we're going to have Phantom Ship. So, looking at who we currently have now we have Dusel, who for some reason joins us with a silver axe that he cannot use. He only has about halfway through Axe Mastery, and this is an A-rank weapon. I don't know why they did that. But he joins us with a steel bow, so that's always appreciated, and he even joined... Does he normally join for Night Christmas inventory? I don't know. So we now have additional people we can train, which is nice, and it's also nice of Cormag that he joins at C bows, meaning that we'll be able to just give him a shining bow, and he should be able to gain his levels on the map himself. Maybe not, because 1 magic is spectacularly low. Still, it shouldn't be that hard. So, as a result, we now have just 3 uses left of this mend staff. It doesn't matter though, because you can buy mend staves from this place. Yep. And which is just buy 1. And additionally, next map is where we're going to be using torch staves anyway, so it doesn't matter. Seth is now very close to S swords. In some previous attempts, he was able to actually reach it, but that just made me realize how easy it is for him to reach it, and therefore that if I wanted to, I should just give experience to someone like Garcia instead. Garcia's done very well for himself. He is looking like he's 3 kills off of being able to promote into a ranger, which may not be helpful, but it's always useful to have more mounts for flexibility. Alright, well that's it for this map. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again for everyone's favourite Fog of War map, Phantom Ship.